Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Somers Town Board regular meeting, starting here at 7:04 on Thursday, May 8th, 2025. Before we start, can I get everybody to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, yeah, you don't want
Yeah.
that.
Oh, wow.
Out of order.
Throw off
That on purpose.
everybody.
Oh, my gosh.
Late for April food.
All right, Patty, can we please start with roll call?
Yes. Councilman William G. Fox,
Here.
Councilman Richard G. Clinchie,
Here.
Councilman Anthony J. Suso,
Here.
Councilman Thomas A. Garrity Jr., Supervisor Rob Brano.
Here. We're gonna go right into public hearings. I'll make a motion to open up public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Number one on the agenda for the evening is the continuation of North Edge Realty residential development for proposed zoning map amendment to allow for the construction of 77 multifamily housing units, inclusive of 15% affordable units along the recreation amenities located at 2943 and 45 New York State Route 6 and 5 County Line Road to rezone from an existing R40 and R80 residence district to multifamily residence Baldwin Place, MFR BP District. Okay. Anybody here have comment, or Tim, you want to?
Just
Yeah.
Tim Allen, Bibbo Associates representing the applicant, Gus Boniello, with me tonight. Just to reiterate, we are showing on 16 acres of property just to the west of the toolbox and the church off of Mayapack Avenue. We've shown 77 units as proposed, and we've been before this town board for quite some time, and this is a continuation of public hearing for the zoning overlay, as you had mentioned. Thank you.
Dave, do you want to say anything or no on this? No, okay. Okay, and we have any comments? Anybody want to come up and make comment here tonight? Come on up, just state your name.
How are you? I'm Matt Toma. I'm a resident of Lake Baldwin, lifelong resident there. I'm not opposed to the project in any way, but the building that's been happening around Lake Baldwin has had impacts on us. So we have a lot of runoff issues with our lake, fish kills, stuff along that nature, because there's no more natural ground for the water to go into. And we're on a different line because we're in Mayapack. So it's the stuff gets built and then we wind up with the impacts with no tax benefit or anything like that. This project is actually weird because you guys fall within the Lake Baldwin map. So this project would actually be incorporated with our park district. So I have some copies of the maps when Lake Baldwin was created.
You show on the map there where Lake Baldwin is up there. He's gonna, well, you can point just generally where it is, where it's situated.
It's just north in Carmel.
Got it. Okay.
Lake Baldwin's right in here in the map.
Got it.
I also have some soil and erosion reports back from the 80s that show that all that property on Route 6, the development that's already gone in, like the impacts that had on us. We had a 5-acre pond that was right off of our lake that got completely filled in. And now that pond was acting as like a soil erosion place for all this runoff before it got to our lake. So now this pond is gone. And this is where our community wells are also located. So we're drinking road runoff essentially, because we're in the lowest part geographically on Route 6. So what I'm proposing is rather than take these extra resources to put towards the nature walk that was going to go in, since this development is going to be part of our park district, take those resources and help fix the lake, fix the clubhouse, fix the neighborhood that this community is going to be part of. So we have our board defunct about 12 years ago. We've been working for about 3 years with our town to try to get it fixed, restart up a new Park Lake district with a lot of problems because we don't want to sign off on all these environmental issues that are there. So we need help in some which way, shape, or form between our town, your town, and the state, because Route 6, that's there. It's a pretty big issue we've been dealing with. So
Have you had any conversations with the applicant about this? Informal?
I have not.
Yeah.
I have not. But I think
They-
it's good for everybody
Not
because
co-
we're all together, in the same community at that point. So our lake is great to walk around. We used to have a really nice park. It's something
Sure.
that this will be able to utilize together. And then the other thing is with all this additional traffic and everything that's coming from it. So it's nice if we could benefit from the negatives a little bit as well.
Does their board, they're going to comment on what we're doing or have comment on this development yet? The Putnam Board? So don't we, the town of Putnam, town of Carmel are going
Dave, we have,
to, it's sort of like, how do you sort of
This is my back.
tee up these issues that talk?
Yeah, Dave Smith, Plan
Hey,
Director,
Dave.
Town of Somers. To respond to your comment, all the information has been provided to the town of Carmel, and we've notified them that there was a public hearing and that they have an opportunity to provide comments. We haven't received anything from the town as of yet.
So Matt, as you're Matt, right? So I mean, working with them to sort of, got to process this somehow.
It's very difficult with them because we don't have a set association because the old one defunct. And it's hard to set up a new one. We're trying to deal with them with the Park Lake. They basically want us to write off that we won't give any issues to any previous or
Got it.
future environmental issues, which we're not willing to do because it's very obvious our lake is getting filled in and ruined because of this. So,
When you say that it's in a park district,
yes,
you have a park district in your,
we're trying to
Carmel.
create one. We had
well, it's
a,
not created yet.
we had a HOA before, and then that over the years just kind of crumbled.
Yeah.
So we're trying to restart that, the community. We've about 2.5 years have been dealing with the town and trying to get community members together to get it going.
See, what I'm familiar with is things like park districts cannot cross municipal boundaries. So you would have to, Carmel would have to form a park district. And then if this property was going to be included, Somers would have to form a park district. And then once the two districts were formed, there could be an intermunicipal agreement between the two districts.
Right.
So that would be the entity that would then function on both sides' behalf.
Yeah, which would be great. And it's actually,
That takes a lot of cooperation.
And a lot of time
the other thing that's
and time.
though is like the houses on Mayapack Avenue on the Somers border, they had in their deeds lake rights to our lake. So it was, when it was formed, the whole property was owned by Luis Casablanca, I believe was his name, or Casagrande. And he owned all of this property all the way up through the farm and everything. And that was Lake Baldwin. And the border, Westchester Putnam border ran through the middle of the property, but it was one chunk. So you could see on the maps I have, there was two proposed layouts for the actual community. And then on the second one, where this is actually going, my road was actually cut through the woods. It was dug, all the trees were cut, there was test pits dug and everything for the development. So it's all kind of interconnected. So when we go to do our Park Lake district, since this falls within us, it's going to change our house number for creating that. We have 175 homes. This is going to add another 77 units to it. So that's going to be part of this.
No, there would be two separate districts. In other
Even-
words, your park district is going to stop at the municipal boundary. And then if you could convince these future owners to also form a park district, this board would form that park district. So the Carmel Town Board only forms a park district for your side of the boundary.
Oh,
You can't cross the boundary.
Yeah.
And then there would be an intermunicipal agreement between the two districts.
Okay,
So that's how it would function.
right.
But it sounds like you're having a little bit of a difficulty. You have some goals that you're trying to accomplish in your community, and you haven't really have Carmel signed on with you.
Carmel, the county, we've had so many meetings, sit downs and everything else. It's just, when you start looking at like our lake and how much it's filled in, it has to get dredged.
Yeah.
So dredge a 15-acre lake and take 4 feet of stuff out of it.
That's a private lake that you're.
Yeah.
It essentially, yeah, it's a private lake. And then, so the cost of that is astronomical.
That
So as
sounds familiar.
a
So,
little community,
General.
Yeah.
it's crazy to even try to take that on. But the town doesn't really want to work with us because they don't want to be like, oh yeah, we'll help you, and then take on a $1 million project.
Mm. Wow.
So, but if we could stop the erosion and stop all the sediment and all that stuff from coming in more, at least we can keep the little that we do have at this.
But the way this is being, we're doing all these impact studies now. I mean, essentially, there shouldn't be any impacts beyond what we're building here, right?
Not for this project.
But not for this project, right? So,
This is downstream of-
Yes.
yeah. So it's not even, yeah, understand.
This project absolutely no
Yes, yeah.
neighbors except for traffic and that stuff. But
Well, yeah.
it's just, again, with being within the community, if it was something that you guys would be interested in doing to team up with us to have a nicer
Hmm.
community, it's a nice project to do. And it'll be nice for all the residents to have an area to go to as well.
Okay.
Any other questions, guys?
Yeah.
Or comments? Mark?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt, thank you. Anybody else? Come on up. Please state your name
Let's see these.
and address. Can you just speak into the microphone for us?
Stephen C., 258 Mayapack Avenue.
Hey, Stephen.
How you doing?
Good.
My house, right here. Information there. Okay? So, I'm against any zone changes to this property. Zones were put in place to protect us from something like this happening to us. My house is across the way from the exit entrance to Mayapack Avenue. My quality of life would be severely impacted by traffic, cars sitting at stop sign, headlights shining in my windows. Then we have the stormwater runoff. This road is actually pitched down towards my house. And yeah, that's about it. So there's definitely going to be an issue there,
And have you spoken with the applicant at all about
No,
your concerns? I don't know if there's other things that could be done to, shield you or whatever.
I don't know. I've been there 28 years,
Yeah, I understand. Sure.
a little old to be changed now.
Yeah. That I understand. Yeah.
How would we process that, just that the impacts are mitigated? Or, for the,
Well, that might be something that the planning board could work on
Yeah.
when it's before the board for site plan.
we sort of have to get that on the agenda somehow for them, or just,
Well,
kinda-
Well,
Not yet.
Dave is here. I'm sure
yeah,
making a note of it.
yeah.
As part of the process, what I've suggested to your board is that you had a public hearing last month. You've received written comments from a variety of the interested and involved agencies. You're hearing from members of the public tonight. So before you make any decision on the environmental determination, it's my suggestion that the applicant prepare responses to all of the comments that have been raised. So the gentleman that just spoke, if he has a particular concern, the applicant should provide a response to that comment as to whether this particular project would specifically have an impact on his property, on the stormwater management system that's being proposed. So I think the applicant should be provided an opportunity to respond to these comments at some point before you make your determination. That's the process that you had followed with another similar project.
And we haven't seen the other questions that were raised at the last meeting, correct?
The responses?
Response?
No, we have not.
And we've notified all the contiguous pieces of property that this is on the agenda, so they've gotten written notice that.
The applicant's responsible for circulating the public hearing notice,
Right.
the other adjacent properties as required by code. The town has circulated the notice of intent and the public hearing to the other interested and involved agencies. We've made the information accessible to them, and we've requested that they provide comments prior to the close of the public hearing.
Just trying to be simple. Was everybody notified?
Yes,
Yes.
my understanding.
Misunderstanding.
Dave, the first gentleman's concerns, those would not be applicable within the applicant's answers on the different forms.
Yeah, I think it's something as simple as, I think Tim had referenced that this particular project
Right.
is downstream from,
So it is.
so any impacts are going away from that particular location.
Yeah. Okay.
So there wouldn't be any impact
Right.
from stormwater.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
But we're
Is there anybody else here for a comment? Stephen, come back up.
Did you get his lip saying?
Yes, I never received any notice about this. I found out from hearsay, this whole project. No notice was sent to my house.
Oh.
Yes. There's no sign on Route 6 either.
Or-
We've asked this question. We weren't required.
Well,
as
not,
the town.
Pardon me?
We weren't required as the town board
Oh,
to put
yeah.
a sign up and to,
Oh, no, I think only the planning does that.
right.
Yeah,
We asked
Right.
you the question.
yeah. It's not a requirement. It's just each board makes its own.
but aren't we supposed to notify? Is-
Done.
Yeah, okay, yeah, which is,
It was noticed in the public hearing, was noticed in the newspaper.
okay, so we don't contact each one of those contiguous pieces. of
Well,
property. No,
the applicant did. Yeah.
but
Is the applicant required to? There you go.
Not for
No.
rezoning, for subdivision they are.
Zoning.
So when it gets to the planning board and the actual plans, then they have to be notified. Okay.
it's like, I mean,
Public hearing, obviously.
Yeah.
Come on up, Tim.
The notice, my understanding is the notification requirements are different at the planning board of where the sign has to go up and everybody within, I think it's a 500-foot radius is noticed.
Yes, I would assume. Yes.
Anybody else have a come on up? Can you just give us your name, please, and address?
I'm Marisi. I'm Stephen's wife. We live at 258 Mayapack Avenue. And he showed you exactly where we live, right up here. We've lived there for 28 years. I actually work in the district as well. We're situated right across from the access road. Over the years, we've experienced significant changes with all the developments that you guys have done over the years. I have the affordable housing in my backyard. We have the senior living facility which took down acres of woods across the street on Route 6. I just feel like it's important that we finally voice our concerns. It's ridiculous. The building that's going on, enough is enough. I totally, am against the zoning amendment change. It's going to affect my quality of life. The traffic in the area is dangerous as it is. The community benefit, you guys made some kind of deal with Anglefly. That's across the town. That does nothing to do with our community where this whole thing is taking place. So what does that do for us? Nothing. And then, the environmental impact of, the wildlife, the, deforestation of the area. I mean, I just respectfully ask that you deny the zoning amendment change. That's it.
thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Come on up.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Wayne. I'm here representing Yorktown Assembly of God on behalf of Pastor Foster. He couldn't be here tonight. We are the church property that basically fills in that whole area that you see in white. And so we just wanted to voice our feeling on the situation. We have the easement to the property actually goes right
Right.
through our property. It actually, there was a mistake that was made many years ago, and the easement actually goes through one of our actual buildings. And in the past, we've had other people who have come who've wanted to build on this property that they're proposing. And there was no thought of how that would affect our organization, our church. We have a school on property. We have homes for the staff and for low-income families in the community. In this situation, I just want to voice that may not be the best feeling for the community, but for our organization, this time has been so different with the Boniello company. They have gone above and beyond to work with us rather than dictating to us what's going to happen. They've come and offered us options of what is the best scenario for us and really made us feel like we're in the driver's seat in this situation. And they have gone above and beyond to try and help our organization. We had a tremendous need for blacktop, and they helped us with that. But in addition to that, they've helped us in many ways that the town isn't even aware of with advice situations. So we just wanted to voice that while it may not be a favorite amongst the whole community, we appreciate the Boniello company and how they've treated us, and they've shown us, and hopefully the rest of the community will feel what we feel, that they care, and they've made an effort to make sure that we're taken care of, our school families feel comfortable, and that it works for us just the same as for them. So we just,
That blacktop has been done already.
yes, it was, yeah, it
And
was
that's, I
done
think I
quite a while ago.
think I
Yeah,
asked,
yeah,
are you going to do that before or after?
yeah. They did it before they
Right.
even had a clue if
Right, I
Oh, or-
noticed that a
which-
year ago or so.
Yes, and then we've had other issues on our property, and we've called to hire them, and won't take money. They've advised us in a situation where we were having issues with a different contractor. And so
Yeah.
we just feel comfortable that if it's inevitable that building is going to happen behind us, that we at least feel comfortable with who is building behind us.
Oh, it's nice he
Okay,
didn't charge you.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Can you come to my house? I need you.
Is there anybody else that'd like to say a few things? Okay. I believe at this time, I know we were hoping to get a few comments in from Tim and from the engineering side of it that would allow Woodard and Curran, our engineering firm, the opportunity to weigh on this on those comments. I think I'm like-minded here with everything that's been brought up, and from what people have stated in some of those questions that we need to see answered. I think we're going to continue with the leaving this public hearing open until next month, until we have those comments, and then give the opportunity to Woodard and Curran to weigh in on all those stuff that we're seeing. So at this time, we're going to continue with this public hearing till next month, Patty? Make a motion. You want to say something?
Yeah, Mr. Ryan, I was just a little confused on Woodward and Curran looking at, I mean, we've received Woodward and comments from them and all the other consultants of this board on the submittal that we had made. Are there going to be additional comments based on plans? I mean, we've submitted the plans already. The plans are the plans.
What,
I'm not sure what we're looking
talking
for.
about your response to the WIG letter,
My
Yeah.
response, Wiggle.
to the technical aspects of the WIG letter.
Yeah.
When you submit those, the town board wants to have those reviewed by its engineers.
Okay. I'm just going to comment real briefly on what the Watershed Inspector General letter, for the most part, was. It was a very detailed review letter and thorough, and I applaud him for it. But I'd say 90% of it was based on final design aspects of the plan. And my response is going to be, we agree with your comment, but this will be taken care of at the planning board or for final design. I mean, that's going to be the bulk of the comments and my response to their comments. But,
Well, I think we're looking forward to seeing them then.
okay.
Would it be, I'm looking here at page 11 from the WIGS letter. Would that, are you referring specifically to something here where they're talking about phosphorus and says the project needs to be modified, reduce post-development levels, be equal or below pre-development levels. Either the project needs to be reduced in size, doubt you're going to do that, or additional stormwater treatments need to be implemented, or off-site offsets. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I'm talking about that in general. I mean, there's a code issue that phosphorus levels are generally, not getting too technical, but it's under the DEC realm of what's called water quality volume, which has been met for this project, and that's the code requirement. Whether or not we do a further pollutant and unloading analysis above and beyond that is something we can discuss in final design. But generally speaking, to meet the code, what we put before this board meets the code today. I'm thinking about things like the location of the trailer, final stormwater pipe sizing. I mean, that's done at the very end of the project. We kind of go through a lot of that.
Yeah,
A lot of the comments are so detailed that we're not even close to those yet.
yeah.
But something like, I think there's a comment in there about phasing.
Correct.
And
And they're correct. The EAF was
So
listed one.
that you can correct, you can clear that up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, if you did address that last point, that did
Well,
catch my eye.
we'll address the letter. I mean, that's not a problem, but
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you that a lot of it's going to be, we're going to get to it later. So that's going to be the response. But anyway,
But how does that help the town board get to its environmental return?
because the information of the overall development has been addressed, in our opinion. When you're talking about sizes of pipes and things like that, if it's 12 inches, 24 inches, that doesn't create an impact. It's just the size of a pipe. There are certain aspects of their letter that do need to be addressed, but a lot of it is final design. There are erosion control measures on the plan that are generally sized for the project as a whole. As we go to the planning board, we'll start to implement individual and details of those erosion control measures. It's not really done at the environmental impact statement or the environmental assessment statement or portion of this project. You're looking at the broader impacts of stormwater, traffic, what the impacts are, can they be mitigated? If they can't be mitigated, then generally there's an impact statement. In our case, we believe all the impacts have been mitigated to the greatest extent practical.
I understand your point about the design and the specificity of the
You know,
pipe.
we're not,
Probably not our concern.
well, it'll be the planning board concern. It'll be the
Right,
town,
I understand.
it'll be the town as a whole's concern. There's no doubt about that.
But it is, if,
But we're not gonna just leave here and say, thank you very much and start building this project. We've
I
got a lot
got
of work to do still.
I got you.
And the DEP is gonna have,
But they are pretty specific, at least in this one case, about the phosphorus impact
sure.
on, and for us to vote
Tim, for us to
without knowing that would be very hard.
move
And that-
forward, there was questions that I think we wanted to see answered,
Un-
and those weren't answered.
Okay.
So I can't move forward until we have those questions that were presented to you to be answered. And that's just the thing. Once we have all of that, then when we sit down and we think about if we're going to move forward with the project now. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
To adjourn or suspend?
Yeah. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All right, in the matter of the extension of the Water Sewer District Number 1 of the Town of Somers, Westchester County, New York, pursuant to the Article 12 of the town law prepared by North Edge Realty Corp. Make a motion to open up this number 2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Anybody here for comments?
Am you gonna make any kind of a presentation on the sewer? The first one is, yeah, sewer.
Oh, Patty, before you start, publishing and postings, please.
On Downey. That was published in the Somers Record on April 24th, and posted on the town clerk's bulletin board.
Okay.
Good evening once again, Tim Allen, Bibbo Associates. At the aforementioned project, North Edge, we are proposing to connect to the sewer that's on Route 6. Currently consists of 2 force mains, which then pump into Yorktown. Connection will be made via pump station here. For the sewer district, we need both the extension approved by this board and the county legislator as a whole to ultimately that sewage will discharge the Peekskill sewage treatment plant.
Anybody here make comment on that? No? Okay, I'll make the motion to close out the public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. We're not going to be making a determination on this evening. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
No.
Oh, we close it, right? Yeah, we close, yeah.
Close it.
Yeah.
Adjourn.
Yeah.
No, adjourn.
Okay. We'll bring it back at a later date. And then number 3, in the matter of the extension to Somers Consolidated Water District Number 1 in the town of Somers, Washington County, New York, pursuant to Article 12 of the town law, prepared by North Edge Realty Corp. Can we take it, before I start, Patty, publishing and postings, please?
That was published in the Somers Record on April 24th and posted on the town clerk's bulletin board.
Thank you.
Tim Allen, Bibbo Associates. Similarly, the North Edge project is proposed to connect to the sewer district or water district number 1 in the town of Somers. Unlike the sewer district, it's just the extension of the town district to service this project. That's what we're here before. Thank you.
Did I make a motion to open?
I don't think so.
I make a motion to open up a public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So move. Anybody here for comments? No comment? And
I just have one question, and I'm sure it's, you know the answer. There's no tankage required for a holding tank?
We're right now, the way we've calculated it, we do not. We're working with Woodward and Kern on the final models. And that, again, it's a final design that certainly will come up with a rationale. But as of right now, we have the fire flow and the residential flow to handle the project.
Great.
okay. I'll make a motion to close that public hearing, I mean.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move. And we'll return at a later date for this, Patty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna move on to public comment. Make a motion to open up public comment.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Anybody here about public comment? Would like to say anything?
Right, I,
Just
those,
Come on up, state your name, address.
They don't.
right, those don't exist, right?
My name is Patrick Senna from Lincolndale, New York. I appeared at your
Well, you have to have it closer to you, Pat.
I appeared at your work session last week,
Mhm.
and I have a revised statement to make. I had an error in my statement. It was the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution, due process clause that I was referring to, not the 14th. So thank you. One of your councilmen advised me on that matter. But I'm going to read the statement with some changes. So I delivered to the town clerk, and by the way, congratulations to the town clerk,
Yeah.
her award.
Yeah.
Bravo to her.
So
I delivered to her a corrected set of documents which mention the Fifth Amendment and not the 14th Amendment. But let me deliver my statement for tonight. I pointed out in the letter that I previously sent you in April that you and all elected officials in New York State, when you took office, you swore an oath to support the Constitution of the United States. And I said, constitutional rights are local. They belong to every one of us in this town and in every other town in this great country. As individuals, however, we have disproportionate power to affect change at higher levels of government. But as a town entity, we have collective strength and far greater power to influence behavioral change. Your oath to support the Constitution is not hollow. It gives you both the authority and the obligation to communicate to higher levels of government that the attacks on our constitutional rights must stop. A sitting U.S. representative wrote to me not too long ago, and I quote, "It is imperative for Americans to staunchly support democracy at home and abroad." Mr. Supervisor, you attended the town hall meeting at JFK with our 17th District Congressman on Sunday last. You saw firsthand how difficult it is for an individual to get through to the congressman. I mean, I was loaded with an apt question concerning this matter, and I never got called, so I never got through. So it's very difficult to communicate as an individual to the higher levels of government. And this issue is so important. That is why I have been asking you and the rest of the town board to communicate to our federal representatives regarding the constant attacks and abuses of our Constitution. Again, the First and the Fifth Amendments. I am trying very hard to sound an alarm here that our Constitution is under attack. I mean, it's so obvious through all of the media. So we, your constituents, need a collective voice to help us get through to stop these attacks. Folks in our community, and I have not taken a survey, but I will bet a lot of money, are very concerned about the daily assaults on our freedoms. So what I'm urging you as a town board to take some action to get the message up the line. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is pass a resolution, a proclamation, write a letter to the higher level authorities, to our representatives in Congress and in our Senate. During the past month, you've heard my request several times, and I'm going to keep coming back. But it's been met with silence. It's been met with deafening silence. So I'm going to close now, and I'm going to quote from the oath of office that you all took. And it reads, "I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States." That's all I can say. I'm urging to take some action, please. You can see it every day on TV, on cable, and social media, that particularly the First and Fifth Amendment rights in our country are being abused. You have the power to send a message up. Please do it. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give me a second.
You did say you'd be back, Herb. I'm impressed. You did.
Aren't you happy?
Yes.
I'm Herb Oringold. We met last week, and I'm really delighted to be back in town after rehabbing for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But in any event, following on to what Pat was saying, I was really turned off by the president's comment on Meet the Press on Sunday morning. When asked if everyone in the town, in the community, will benefit from due process, he said, "I don't know." That is irresponsible, at the least. I would just like to say and reiterate for what Pat was saying, and Pat and I have not talked about this, but I'm unsure about what the role of local boards are vis-a-vis issues like democracy. I don't know. I'm not a civics professor. Maybe Rich could help. But the fact of the matter is, the citizens of this country, regardless of Democrats, Republicans, or independents, need to understand that the Constitution does, in fact, make a difference, and that you, as elected officials, support that. How you do that, whether it's written or documented, it's up to you. I just think that the citizens need to know that the town elected officials support the Constitution and will do whatever it takes to affirm your oath. I have spoken to each of the supervisors in our neighboring community, and they all say the same thing, which is, we signed the oath. That's not enough. The people in this town and other towns nearby need to know more than you signed an oath. They need to know that you support the oath. So I leave it to you. I hope that you'll do the right thing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Herb.
Thank you, Herb.
Any questions?
Herb, I'm not sure if you, you or Pat actually saw the State of the Town address
No.
The other week. So if you have an opportunity to go onto YouTube
Yep.
and look at the State of the Town address that took place this week. If you scroll, I would love for you to watch it all.
Great.
But if you get towards the end, I do talk about about the Constitution and what the board does and how to defend it. So
I look forward.
love for you guys to take a look at that.
Yep.
And then,
Thank you.
sure. I'll give you, want me to read it to you?
Yeah.
All right, before I close tonight, this is before I closed the meeting, right? I would like to address the responsibilities of the town board that I bear as elected officials. Each member of this board has taken a solemn oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. The oath is not symbolic. It informs everything we do, whether we are passing local budgets, protecting public safety, stewarding infrastructure, or promoting justice and opportunities at the local level. It is our job and our duty to preserve, protect, and defend the constitutional rights of Somers residents, not by merely paying them lip service, but through action. We do this by ensuring fairness in our courts, transparency in our proceedings, and equal treatment for all.
Sounds great. Can I ask a question, if I may?
Go ahead.
A long time ago, when I was younger, we used to have something called a Citizens Advisory Committee. It is meant to be an advisory committee to the board about what the citizens believe and hear and believe in. I don't know if there is such a thing, but I think you could benefit from getting direct input from the townspeople about what's on their mind and what current situation, how it affects them.
277.
I'm sorry?
277-3637. 914. That's the telephone number to call.
I'd love to. I tried before and it didn't work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Pat, come on up. So don't talk. Just come over to.
So I listened to what you just said about it. There's no doubt that you men and women love the Constitution. There's no question in my mind. What I'm asking on the specific matter on the abuses of the First and Fifth Amendments that are so clear coming over the media, that you take a specific action to send a message to our congressional and senatorial representatives that this has got to stop. You know, if I may add a personal note, in a way, what's happening now is a very small thing that could metastasize. I had 2 cancers in my life, and I was very fortunate that They were caught at a very early stage and didn't metastasize. What's happening there in Washington, you can see the direction it's going. I mean, the parallels, I'm going to use a little history here. The parallels to 1933 in Germany are amazingly close. They really are. I mean, this thing can grow unless it's stopped. And the only way it's going to stop is by individuals. I mean, I'm trying, Herb's trying, but we don't have the power. You have greater power than we do, so please use it. It's simple. It's a letter. It's a proclamation. It's a resolution. That's all I'm asking.
I have to disagree that what's going on in our country today is far and away from what happened in 1933.
Not yet, not yet. But I'm saying you catch the cancer when it's a dot. You don't let it metastasize. I'm sorry to have to use that analogy, but it happened to me, so I guess I've got permission to use it. But it's a serious matter, and it's one that you can affect by your actions. That's all I'm saying. I thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment? No? All right, I'll make the motion to close out public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Department reports, Patty.
I have reports from the town clerk, building inspector, zoning board of appeals, plumbing, Bureau of Fire Prevention, Parks and Recreation, Planning and Engineering, tax receiver, and director of finance.
Okay. Do you want me to go with the easy stuff first, or you want me to go with the good stuff first?
Hard to easy.
All right, we'll go with some other stuff first before we get to the hard stuff for you, Patty.
Yes.
All right, Somers town updates here. As we just mentioned before, State of the Town was earlier this week. If you have not seen the State of the Town, you can check it out on view on YouTube, our Somers channel, or Channel 20. I believe it's out there as well. Also, there was a commercial that was being filmed here in the town of Somers, down by King Cone the other day. It was a Chevy Equinox commercial. We got a few phone calls about it. So we had a Chevy Equinox commercial down there. So I just wanted to let people know what was going on. And then now to
Believe the Equinox.
the big matter at hand. Okay, tonight we have a proclamation for Patricia Calba, our town clerk, for the 2025 94th Assembly District Woman of Distinction, representing our town of Somers.
Very well deserved.
Patty, your day, I won't read the whole thing, but your day in the town, and of course, will be on the LED sign at,
Yes.
well,
Doesn't get bigger than that.
doesn't get any bigger than that. It'll be on the LED sign at Reese Park on tomorrow, May 9th, Patricia Calba Day.
All right.
Picture of it.
I will do.
Patty?
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you, Patty, for all you do.
You're gonna be a picture in front.
You want to get a picture? Might as well take a picture there.
Put on newspaper. She got a haircut, you know. Good.
Tommy, can you take a picture? Yeah, come on up here. You want to take a picture? You want to be? I'll take a picture though.
My wife is sending me a message.
He doesn't want
It's all order.
That's a real, yeah. Nice to meet you.
You know, you might.
Nice to be noticed.
One fact down the road that, hey, on this day,
Yeah.
on
A fun fact.
Future fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact.
That's next year.
And Patty ascribes, I know, to the motto, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
all right, let's
Calva.
Let's go on to number 2, National Historic Preservation Month, the Somers Historical Society, and I believe we have Grace Zimmerman on Zoom tonight.
Oh, super.
Hello.
Hi, Grace.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
So my technology here, I'm going to share a screen. Congratulations, Patty.
There's a pass. Woman of distinction.
All right.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So every May,
Yeah.
the town celebrates Historic Preservation Month, as we are this year. And the society just would like to commend the town for doing this, passing this resolution later this evening. You're joining communities across the country by declaring May National Preservation Month, which was actually established by the National Trust for Historic Preservation to raise public awareness and support for the social and economic benefits of historic preservation. Okay, why is it not there? This year's theme is the power of place. Since the town is fitting that you do this because since the acquisition of the Elephant Hotel in the 1920s, you as a town board have collectively built a portfolio of historic buildings, beginning with the Wright Reese Homestead in 1967. Now it includes, your portfolio includes 3 National Register sites and 1 national landmark, which is maintained primarily through taxpayer dollars and augmented with donations by civic groups and volunteers. This year in particular, I'd like to just mention, as you all know, but the community may not realize that you have acquired 2 grants nearing close to $1 million for funding of preservation in buildings at the Wright Reese Homestead and of course at the Elephant Hotel. So the society is very proud of this, very proud of you for doing that. And this year, since it is also the Elephant Hotel's 200th anniversary, we are working with the town and going to have a celebration Saturday, May 31st, with the opening ceremonies on the front steps. We'll have cake, ice cream, music, building tours, crafts, some surprises, and you'll be able to see the former Old Bet sculpture, which actually was in front of the Elephant Hotel from 1938, was it, Rob, until 2024.
Yes.
And you can see it'll be somewhere in the building, but you'll be able to see it up close instead of up on the top of the pedestal, and take your picture with it and celebrate a good day. So we hope that everybody comes by. There are a number of kids that have already submitted birthday cards. We have about 50, but as we understand it, most of Primrose School has prepared birthday cards for y'all. I'm out of town, so I couldn't bring you the 40 that we have so far, but there are several hundred. So if anybody would like to send a birthday card to the town, we'll be happy to display it that day. And just hope that everybody has a good time. And we celebrate preservation in this town, historic preservation, because it really is, it's quite remarkable that a town our size has so many landmarks and pays attention to the fact that they need care. And it's not an easy process, especially with everything else going on in the town and in the world, as we know. So the Historical Society and Doris Jane Smith, town historian, who couldn't be here tonight, we're all just really proud of the town board and the town of Somers. And again, congratulate the Elephant Hotel and the stewards of it, and hope you'll come and join us on the 31st.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grace.
That's great, Grace.
Thank you.
You did this.
Birthday cards for the kids. That's great.
Yes, there are a lot of birthday cards you'll be seeing.
That's
So-
a great presentation, Grace. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Oh, that's it. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of the evening. And
Grace, where are you?
Thanks, Grace.
right now, I'm in a town called Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, who also has they have a National Register district that's about the size of ours in Somers. It's about 56 acres.
Well, it's nice you to take time out of your travels across the United States to inform us of this.
Well, I'm here for Mother's Day, but this was very important. 200 years only happens once.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So,
200 years.
all right. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grace.
All right. Take
Great
care.
job, Grace. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This is an amazing building. I mean, 200 years old. and
Yeah.
There's artifacts in here that go back to first board meetings.
Yeah.
And, I guess you can actually get some tour. You give tours once in a while. Some of the things that are going on here. We've been a bank. We've had our currencies, a currency.
Yeah.
And
It was a show.
I guess we've had colonial visitors here over the years too. So
And the ghosts are still here.
that's right.
People swear.
Friendly ghost, all right.
Oh, Casper and all
Casper.
his friends. Yeah, you bet.
It's been seen.
That's what they say.
Well, that's another discussion another time.
All right.
All right, let's go on to number 3 here. So we're gonna declare May 2025 as National Historic Preservation Month in the town of Somers. I'll make the motion to declare.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so move. Next up, affordable housing town code discussion. Dave Smith, you want to come up?
Good evening once again. Patty, congratulations. Award, well deserved. With respect to the ghosts here in the town building, I've been here late at night preparing for planning board meetings, and sometimes I'm wondering who's walking around outside. So
You,
I can attest to that as well.
you feel a chill once in a while?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, I can make a quick exit if I need to.
What's happened?
So the planning office was asked to prepare some proposed revisions to the town's affordable housing text and the code. Primarily, the discussion was around looking at the town's code and then looking at the Westchester County model ordinance, which many communities have used in the past as kind of a way of introducing the affordable housing legislation. The town of Somers has had their affordable component in the code for a number of years now. I think it was introduced, I think Roland had mentioned 2008, when this was long before the county started requiring those types of ordinances be included as part of the code. So primarily there are two components to the proposed revisions to make this more in line with the model ordinance. One, you have multifamily residences, and the affordable requirement is particularly just limited to those districts. That's the multifamily residence, the multifamily Baldwin Place. There is the NS, which is the neighborhood shopping district, which requires an affordable component. And then right here, the BHP, the Business Historic Preservation District, which requires, and the code now currently requires 15% of the units be affordable units. And that's the code, your code requires that affordable is defined as 80% of the average median income for Westchester County.
And for those watching, that transfers to how many dollars? 80% equals how many dollars?
So Rob, I think you have the most current AMI.
It'll be
And
surprising.
it's published every year by Westchester County. 100% or the average median income, I think, is at 125,000.
Or
I think that's 100%.
Yeah. So when we started this, it was 100,000.
The mean.
This was like many years ago. So that would mean it would be 80,000. Now with that, the average median income is probably in the 120 range. We're looking at trying to scan this quickly.
Yeah.
one family, right? 80%,
80 something.
95,200.
Two person, 108.
Yeah.
122
So
per person, 136.
for instance,
The point is, it's simply affordable housing is someone as income somewhere either side of 100,000.
Yes, and in fact, when you enacted your initial affordable housing, in the definition, it provides an example. And it says actually this is going back to the year 2001, so perhaps your affordable component was introduced even before then. But importantly, back then when the affordable component was adopted, it provides an example. So in 2001, for a 4-person household, the 80% of the county median income was $68,640. So today it's much higher than that. What is it?
For 4-person for 80% AMI, 136.
136. So, so there's again, and it's the intention is that it's a sliding scale. So as the average median income changes, the income requirements change.
But that's a county, the AMI is the county.
For Westchester County AMI, right?
So Westchester County is an expensive place to live, and that number seems quite high, but it really isn't. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
When you have 4 children or 4 people and the like.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you have retired folks, I mean, some of the things that you think about here, like in our lakelet districts, I mean, I'm kind of getting off topic here for a sec. We have people that are on Social Security that, you know, we're below the poverty level because the main income is like maybe Social Security and a house that they lived in, you know, many years. Up on Route 6, the affordable housing, senior affordable housing has been a godsend for people coming in, families, you know, you know, people that age, spouses pass, are on Social Security, and they're living in a nice setting up there.
Yeah.
And it's managed very well.
And I think that was the whole intention of including an affordable component within the multifamily districts, is to allow for those opportunities to occur.
You know, I think you heard this here tonight, though, even with the Boniellos and so on. The folks that are building in the town, they're really respectable people. They do a good job on the building side. They take care of the properties around them, and when they're managing the rentals, they're doing it in a very nice way.
Yeah. So changing the requirement from 15 to 10% is one suggested edit, and then the other one, based on my conversations with the town attorney, is to add some language to the definition of affordable dwelling units, and the added language is all affordable units shall be marketed in accordance with the Westchester County Fair and Affordable Housing Affirmative Marketing Plan.
Right.
So that's just a way of providing an opportunity, transparent opportunity for people to access affordable units.
So there's a county organization that essentially does the marketing for the units. They identify the people that get on the list.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, there's a contractor that works with the county. Housing Action Council has been doing that for a number of years.
Right.
Who coordinates the review of the applicants for selection as part of the affordable housing.
And the goal of that is that they cast a wide net. You know, anybody in the county could basically,
yes,
even beyond.
Right. I mean, there's taxpayer dollars here that
Yeah.
support these projects, and people should have access to where their taxpayer dollars are spent.
Yes.
Within the county. And I think, you know, it's been an issue as long as I've been here in town. I'm not saying it's a contentious issue, but there's always discussion about that. But I think that the point to it was made to me most saliently years ago by a young woman who was in the volunteer fire department and ambulance corps. And it was the beginning of offering units. And of course, there's always a lottery, almost always a lottery. And it was pointed out to her by someone here, well, there's no guarantee you're going to get it. She was 20 years old.
Mhm.
And you're not going to, you know, she said, I know, but at least I'll have a chance to stay here. And I never forgot that.
Mhm.
Because, you know, you look at communities in Westchester, some near us, some far from us. They're bedrooms. People move in, the kids go into school, kids leave school, they move out. And that's not what I have often thought of as Somers of the Charm of the Small Town or other people. It's a place to grow up. If you go away, go to school or whatever, you come back, and there's an affordable place for you to stay. maybe then as time goes on, some of the older people want to sell their houses. You buy that house there and you buy a house in the town you grew up in. Then as you grow older, you say, I want to sell this house, but I want to stay in town. And there's a senior affordable housing that you can go in. There's a whole life cycle. It's more than just bedroom communities. It's the life cycle of a town that people love, stay in, and they add to it. And it's hard to quantify what that value is to a town, but that's true community. And people need more, I think, ties in life, you know, so you're not just the, you know, on the water. You need to have ties. And I think that this sort of thing, it's also good for business. Business leaders often like this. But to me, it's about that sense of community. And that's why I do support these things.
It's part of like a land use or zoning strategy where you have age in place housing, where in
Yeah.
a community you have, just as you have single family homes where people grow up and they have families, and then you have other housing opportunities for the kids who move out, want to move back, but they need a smaller unit, they need a starter unit. Or if somebody wants to transition from a single family home and they don't have to worry about, I've got to worry about the roof and the boiler and the landscaping and all that, and they want to move into, let's say, a townhome type of product where all those amenities are taken care of, part of, but there's still within the community where they grew up and they have all the roots and the connections. So that's part of the affordability is part of that component of providing for various types of housing, making that available.
Right.
I mean, this is a regional and a countrywide county issue. I mean, we do what we can as a town. And, you know, Rob will tell you that we've done, you know, a tremendous amount for the county,
Yes.
you know, helping them meet their goals. But there's a cost to the community to do this in terms of the way you structure taxes and subsidies that come down from the federal and state governments. And I'm not sure that they're at the same level as they were like 10 years ago. So it gets more and more difficult to do this stuff. But you know, we're committed to do it.
Yeah, Councilman Spirico, I think you're absolutely right. Historic in terms of our contribution, Somers is about 2% of the population of Westchester County, and we were allocated 22 or more percent of the county's total,
A little under 25%.
20 closer to 25.
Well,
So
a little under.
yeah, we're pretty good municipal citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, Dave, it would be keeping it right in line with the county and their number account.
Yeah. So you have the proposed revisions. I don't know what your expectation is tonight, but you do have in the package a notice of intent to act as lead agency and scheduling of a public hearing, if you're comfortable doing that. Procedurally, if you move forward that way, the documents would be circulated to Westchester County, to your planning board. There would be other interested involved agencies that would be circulating them to. And then, you know, obviously scheduling a public hearing, which is a requirement for any.
I'd like to put that actually
Zoning
off till next month, if it would just give me a little bit more time.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
What would you like to put off? You want to think
The vote, yeah.
the vote? You want to think about it and then
Vote next time. Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
This would
be lead agency, right?
would just be for your notice of intent to be lead agency.
Right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
To set a date for a public hearing.
yeah.
But at least you
Ah.
get that 30-day clock running.
Make a motion
And
to
the
act.
clock would run, well, I'm not sure.
If anyone else wanted to be lead agency, they'd have to notify you. which is
Okay.
not
Doesn't
like-
require that any action be taken in 30 days.
No,
Oh.
you could abandon the whole
Oh, okay.
whole concept if you chose to.
Oh, just if you want to jump.
But this just saves 30 days along the way.
Yeah.
Mm.
If you,
So we can take care of a process step.
Okay. Okay. All
Correct.
right. I understand.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay. Good. So I'll make the motion to declare intent to act as lead agency.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you.
And you're going to hold on scheduling the public hearing?
Correct.
Okay, very good. Anything else?
That's it, Dave. I think, do we have you on the? No, that's, do you want to N&B properties?
If you need me to stick around for that,
I just think-
that's pretty straightforward. Roland probably has all the information you need for that one.
Pretty much straight.
You've been here a lot lately, though, Dave. You know,
I love Somers. It's
really
great.
well.
I like having you here, Dave.
Explain that.
Horse Drive, Boom, Steve, floor plans, this building. Nope, I think we're good.
Very good.
Thank you, bud.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you, Dave.
And for all the mothers, happy Mother's Day.
Here, here.
All right, number 5.
Everybody has one.
True. Number 5, petition of N&B Properties LLC, 25 Route 116. Discussion. I know I've had some discussion from this. Oh. Come on up.
Good evening, Tim Allen again at Bippo Associates, representing N&B Properties. We were before you previously looking for a 280A status on this property. As discussed previously, there's a right-of-way that comes off of Route 116. The property's in back. It's about 13.5 acres, but doesn't have proper frontage on Route 116. It's a landlocked piece in back. It's part of Lawton Adams Properties, and they've got several holdings in the back there. It's part of a subdivision, a lot line change years ago, but there was some intention to create some sort of a right-of-way, but I don't think it ever really materialized. So we're before you tonight to consider the 280A consideration for this lot, which allows for the lot to be built on without the proper frontage on a town road. It was referred to the planning board. The planning board went out and looked at it. They were very satisfied with the lot, that it made sense. And I believe it was referred to the Fire Bureau, and my understanding is they didn't have any issue with either.
These are all,
No, the only, I mean, maybe that's something different, but I know the Fire Bureau was requesting that a hammerhead for the.
Yeah, we've worked with them on that.
You have.
Yes.
And then also, putting it out to, what is it, 12 feet right now to making it 13 feet,
Correct.
the driveway?
Couple turnoffs that they'd requested also.
Okay.
so this cuts across Lawton Adams properties, right? They all own, are they families or they,
It's all in the family.
what is it, one corporation or multiple corporations? That doesn't
believe-
matter.
I believe there are 2 in the N&B and one is in, I think, one of the sisters' names.
Right. Okay.
No, no, it's been,
And,
Okay.
and we just need to rule because there's no access to, there's no front.
There's no potential of merger, I don't think, in terms of
Right.
that sort of thing, but it'd still come down to the strip
Right.
of frontage.
Okay. Seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, it does. And so I just want to make sure that, yeah, the hammerhead, I know that was the thing, and the making it 13 feet, right? So,
So the planning board does that or has that?
no, it doesn't go back to the planning board.
we'll just make it a condition.
Condition of our vote here.
Okay.
It can
that Those things are done.
Okay, good.
do with open development areas.
Okay.
Just specify in your approval that it's 280A4, open development area declaration. 280A4.
280, A,
80,
yeah,
small a,
A,
4
4.
of town law of the state of New York.
And those 2 provisions, the hammerhead and the,
Yeah, comes up a lot.
Open development area
Okay.
declaration.
All right, then I will, I mean, hope I don't butcher it. I'll make the, hope I don't hammerhead it. All right, I'll make the motion to accept the petition, 288-4, Town Law, State of New York, for N&B Properties LLC for the road, with the conditions of an asphalt hammerhead and a 13-foot wide asphalt driveway. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I guess it ended.
And Patty, congratulations.
All right, number 6. Steve, Robbins from Woodard and Curran, Ross Drive Tank Rehabilitation Construction Change Order.
Good evening, Steve Robbins with Woodard and Curran. This matter regards the rehabilitation of the Ross Drive tank in the Somers Consolidated Water District. That tank is currently undergoing an interior rehabilitation where they've blasted off the interior coating and are reapplying new coatings on the interior. It's something that you do every 15 to 20 years for the inside and the outside. We did the outside of the tank, which only needed a new overcoat about 12 years ago now. So coming back this year, town went out to bid, received multiple bids, and that project was awarded to the current contractor, Minoan Industrial. There are 3 items that have come up during the course of construction that we wanted to bring to the board's attention and get authorization if so decide. They fall into kind of 2 categories. One is nice to have, and the 2 are need to have. I'll start with the need to have items. In taking that tank offline, one of the control valves in the system needed some rehabilitation work in order to better control the pressures in the rest of the water district. The town water district receives water from 2 directions, one up from Route 35, and the other is across Route 6. We put in the connection there a few years ago, and so we can feed water into the town from Yorktown as well. One of the valves in the system was needed some rehabilitation in order to better control the pressure and not cause as many pipe breaks as were occurring. So we retained a contractor on an emergency basis who came in, did a great job. Pressure's doing what it should do. The second item is, as part of this work, the town is installing, or the contractor is installing, a mixer in that tank that helps remove stratification of the water in that tank and keeps it moving. There's a minor amount of electrical work that the town needs to do to make that ready for the contractor to install the mixer. And that work would be done by the town's on-call electrical contractor.
Are those automated, those valves, or how does that, just interested?
This one is
Pressure valves are just,
This one's not automated, but it wasn't set up to operate at quite as low a pressure as what we needed, and there were some materials in the vault that just needed to be adjusted.
and I would imagine as water goes through over the years, I mean, there's sediment in there, right? Does that get is there a process to release sediment?
There is a minor amount of sediment in a drinking water system. Usually it's these valves like this are designed when they're flowing to have a high enough velocity to kind of move it through.
Right.
So often we see more issues with sediment accumulation on dead end pipes and things like that. So no, this had to do with the control assembly, what's called a pilot valve on the valve itself. That is what you use to set the pressure that the valve operates at.
Got it. Thank you.
The nice to have item is some work on the exterior of the tank. When the town bid this project, we had the base bid, the work that we needed to do, which involved the interior rehabilitation of the tank, the mixer, and a new vent on the tank. We had a contract price adjustment in that bid should the town elect to do a full exterior, basically a pressure wash, but a very intensive pressure wash, prep, and a new overcoat of paint. The town at that time decided not to move forward with that option, given the price. The contractor on site has been working very well. We're satisfied with the work that they're doing. We recommend that the town consider doing a softer pressure wash, a lower pressure, just to remove some of the mold and mildew on the outside of the tank. No painting, really just washing it down and giving it a better appearance. And lengthening the life of the coating that's there. The town is going to have to come back in a few years and do more work on the exterior, but this will help stretch that out a little bit longer.
And that will cost?
That part of it costs $39,845. The total of
Sense that anything there is, they'll discover wood that's rotten or something like that that built in more repairs as a result of the cleaning?
No. The tank is empty now. The contractor has been rigging up assemblies inside that tank. It's I don't know, 120 or so feet tall, and working through every inch of the inside of that tank. And we just did the outside 12 years ago. So I don't expect that we'll see anything. If we do see something that needs to be addressed, it should be addressed. We'll just know about it.
Yes.
The total of those three items, the exterior pressure washing, the valve repairs, and the electrical work, is $56,524. For reference, the base bid that the work is being done under is $520,500. So it's on the order of 10% of the overall contract value.
Those systems generate water pressure, right? Essentially,
The tank?
tanks.
So what the tank does is it buffers the demand of water that the town needs to take from those two sources. So at a period of very high demand, whether that's everyone turning on their lawn sprinklers at the same time or taking a shower at the same time or a fire, you have a reserve of water that's high enough in the air to give you enough pressure to serve the system and a reserve volume in that tank to serve that immediate need to make up for that usually very short-term peak demand and allow the rest of the sources to catch up and eventually refill that.
And is that just servicing our residents or it just goes beyond because stuff may be fungible,
It primarily serves, it right now really only serves the Somers Consolidated Water District and even then really just only a portion of that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
As time goes on and there's more and more people added to the water district, does the necessary size of the tank have to get bigger to provide that buffer?
Not in the level of growth that the town is seeing. I mean, if we were to double in size, then maybe.
So
But we're not
theoretically, yes.
at some
Practically
perhaps.
now, no.
And typically, one of the main drivers in tank volume is fire flow, and we wouldn't expect to see a change in fire flow because you don't design for multiple fires. So we meet the town's fire flow demand. A new development or new house goes in, it's not going to have a fire flow demand any higher than what's already been built.
Will there ever come a time that you have so many, I'm thinking of California, where, or Hawaii, and you have a lot of homes and now you really got a problem? Would that be an occasion that you have to increase the size of the tank or no?
So the way the water district functions is you buy water from the Northern Westchester Joint Waterworks. They have two water treatment plants, each on the order of 7 or 8 million gallons per day of capacity. One is over in Cortland, and the other is right at the base of the Amwalk Dam. Those treatment plants produce a very constant flow of water. They adjust their treatment flow to match the demands in the system. And there are water storage tanks in each of those three municipalities, Cortland, Yorktown, and here in Somers. Right now, the town's water system is interconnected across Route 6 with the town of Yorktown. Yorktown also has water storage tanks. And so if there were a severe enough emergency that dropped the water level in the Ross Drive tank, in addition to being supplied water from the Northern Westchester connection, we also have the ability to get water from Yorktown. And similarly, if theirs were to drop, we have the ability to move water.
So everybody could be pretty secure.
It's a very resilient system, and the amount of stored water right now is more than adequate for what the town needs.
If you remember, we tried going to put a bid with all three of the municipalities together, try to get a better price, but we couldn't. That's why we'd have to coordinate the levels of the water tanks during that time frame.
Right.
Yeah. Any other questions?
All good.
I'm good. I'm
Real
good. You? All right. I'll make the motion to approve the construction change order that was presented to us.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So move. And Steve, you want to talk about Reynolds House?
Yeah, I did just clarify one other item on that first one. All of that cost is contractors to the town. Woodard and Kern doesn't need any additional funds for that. So just to clarify.
Thank you.
The second item is related to the Reynolds House. Back in summer of 2023, the town retained Woodard and Curran to try to permit the existing septic and well systems at the Reynolds House. The systems had been installed. Given the age of the property, There was no record of an approval from the health department for the systems that were there. And even if there were, the change in use of the facility from a residence to now a town-owned public property, and not as a residence, results in needing to go back and bring certain elements of that building up to code. The town's been doing a lot of work, obviously, on the building itself and its infrastructure, but the water and sewer need to be brought up to code as well. Woodard and Kern conducted some field investigations on the property in and around the existing system, and unfortunately, that system does not meet code and needs to be replaced. So this proposal before you is to allow for us to advance and complete the design and construction oversight for septic system at the property and to design modifications to the well system as well to bring them up to code.
Go ahead. You have something in your mind. Yeah, go ahead.
And
This,
how much does that cost?
it's going to cost not to exceed $20,003.
Okay. Looking here.
I mean, we are into this. We are into this,
Yes.
guys. We are into this project. This is the
In 10 years or
this is
whatever.
Well,
longer than that, maybe longer than 10 years.
if it's any consolation, if it was a house, it'd be selling for over $1 million.
Mhm.
So,
With that property.
you know, everything's got, it's like, we got to just get it. Makes no sense just to let it stand foul. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we're committed.
No, the inside has been taken care of. We've done a lot of work to that,
Just get it
That
functional,
building-
make it work.
get it functional. We have an idea about what we want to turn that into. But this is something that we need to get done to make sure that we have a proper working septic. And
And a certificate of occupancy.
yeah, and yeah, it comes in down to the occupancy as well. We have a building there, so
There's been a lot of volunteer work there. We've covered this before. I mean, we're not spending more than the house is worth, you know, and certainly, you know, it gives us great pain to throw money into it, but
Well, it's a couple.
it's getting us to get,
200,000 out of the Parks Fund, I think.
yeah, well,
But it's also, you know, quite a landmark too. It's been here since the Revolutionary War. It's
Right.
Been here since 776, 200 years.
Yeah, there's
old is
one-
nice,
one
but
beam
this is
left.
On 250.
There's one beam underneath that they have kept so they can actually say that. That's
All right.
helpful.
all right.
I mean, I'll make the motion here to amend the contract for the septic system and well permitting.
Yeah, no choice. Absolutely. Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
We'll get it done.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Patty.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Everybody out there.
Wow,
Patty.
everybody knows.
Yeah. Yeah. Haven't, let's see. Haven't heard
All
from
right.
Tommy tonight, but he.
Next up here, approve the floor plan prepared by Lothrop Associates for the Somers Library Teen Room Renovation Project, which has been approved by the Library Board of Trustees with input from myself, Town Building Inspector and Library Director. So Lothrop Associates can complete the final project plan per memo dated May 1st, 2025. Jessica Vesey, Library Director. We've gone on for a little bit.
Yes.
And we've finally come up with a design plan. After many things, we believe we're going to keep the wall where it is and move forward. I know the library's been excited about this. We've had Lothrop in here for probably over a year, coming back and forth. I think the plan looks good. We think we're satisfied with what's there.
I think the revisions from the original plan were wise. Are wise.
Correct. And now we have it. So I'd like to make the motion to approve the floor plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then also, I would like to make the motion to solicit bids for the teen room renovation. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And keep you on your toes.
Looking for this.
Okay, let's move on here. Permission is being requested to secure a registered design professional to inspect the townhouse fire escape and to submit the inspection report to the New York State Fire Code periodically requires this per memo dated April 7th, 2025, from Thomas J. Toon.
I
Chief
see
of
the
the Bureau of
registered
Fire-
design professional. Yes? It's a person?
Yes.
Yeah,
Profession.
profession,
Well, I read it.
professional.
Professional.
Okay.
Thank you. Make the motion to request permission to secure a registered design from a professional.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Done right there.
So moved. That's professionally done.
Aye.
Stated.
Parks and Rec, no additional business. Financial, no additional. Highway, no additional. Personnel, do have some current vacancies on our board, Affordable Housing Board, Assessment Board of Reviews. And we also have one on the Veterans Committee as well. Again, if you're interested in serving on one of our town boards, please contact my office, set up a time to meet. Planning and Engineering for review and comment. Gold 3, Catherine Place, Wetland and Watercourse Protection, and SMESC application. I don't have any comments on that.
Nor I.
Okay. Consensus agenda, we have nothing on the consensus agenda. So we go on,
And I think we can agree to that.
if we can. And let's go on to, where's my notes? Let's go on to what we have coming up here, June 5th and June 12th, 7 o'clock. We have a town board work session and a town board regular meeting. We're also having a public hearing to reinstate Chapter 26, Fire Prevention Bureau, the code of the town of Somers. And then we're combining our meetings July 10th and July 14th.
August 14th.
August 14th, sorry, thank you. August 14th, and those are at 7 o'clock as well. Do have some announcements. Statewide burn ban. Statewide burn ban is in effect until May 14th. That is the opening burning of trash, limbs, and branches is prohibited, but backyard fire pits, small camp cooking fires, and small campfires are still okay. Assemblyman Matt Slater's Women of Distinction ceremony of the 94th Assembly District. That is Saturday, May 10th. Patty will be there, and she will be recognized there.
At lunch, I think.
And that's Town of Carmel at the Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Ave, Mayapack, New York. St. Luke's annual plant sale. That's Saturday, May 10th through Saturday, May 17th. That's 12 to 6. Perfect gift for Mother's Day. As we know, it's happening this weekend, this Sunday. St. Luke's Episcopal Church. Westchester County Mobile Shredder coming back to Somers. That's Tuesday, May 13th. It's 10 to 1. It's at Reese Park.
Next Tuesday.
Celebrate Mother's Day at the Muscoot Farm. And that is 9:30 to 2:30. Opening day of its farmers market. And then 9:30 to 3, Sheep Searing Festival will take place.
That's always good.
We also have Know Your Public Utility Rights webinar for NYSEG customers posted by the Westchester County Board of Legislators in partnership with Public Utility Law Project. That's Tuesday, May 13th, 6 p.m. You'll need to register for that. Somers Lions Club Carnival, Wednesday, May 14th through Sunday, May 18th. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 p.m. It opens up, and Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. That's right here at the Fireman's Field.
Hopefully.
Join the Somers Senior Program for lunch and grand buffet, Chinese American, Shishio, and seafood. That's Thursday, May 22nd, 11:30 to 3. The bus will depart from Van Tassel at 11:30 and returns at 3 o'clock. And that's $15 per person. Please contact our nutrition department, Princess Guerrera. Westchester County Memorial Day service. That is Friday, May 23rd, 11 a.m. at Lasden Park. Town of Somers Memorial Day procession and ceremony sponsored by the Somers Veterans Board. And that is Monday, May 26th, 9:45. The procession starts right here at Bailey Park, and we're going to walk to Ivandale Cemetery, which we will have our ceremony starting at 10.
So Bailey Park, not.
Bailey Park, not the school, Bailey
school.
Park.
Oh, a little different.
Little different. Assemblyman Matt Slater's Feminine Hygiene Drive. That's now through Friday, May 30th. You can drop off stuff here at Town Hall. and that is Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30. The Elephant Hotel 200th anniversary celebration, as we saw before, from Grace Zimmerman, that is Saturday, May 31st at 11 o'clock to 3:30 right here at Somers Townhouse. Man, there's a lot of them.
The busy month.
It's a very busy month. This is when we start getting into all this stuff. 9th annual charity car show, and that is Sunday, June 1st, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Somers Intermediate School. Somers Senior Program presents Hudson Breeze and Harbor Fest. That is Wednesday, June 18th, 8 to 4. Bus departs Van Tassel. And then also hold the date, Town of Somers Independence Day celebration, Thursday, July 3rd, right at Reese Park. That is all I have.
Wow.
Patty. That's a lot.
Well, since you took all the time, forget it.
I was so tired.
Okay, on this day in history.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be remiss if we didn't recognize Victory Day, VE Day, whatever you'd like to call it, remembrance of the end of World War II in 1945. On this day in 1970, the New York Knicks won their first NBA championship, beating the the LA Lakers 113 to 91. As we all know, we have the Catholic Church has a new pope, so that was exciting news this afternoon. And your fun fact of the day is owls do not have eyeballs.
Owls do not.
Eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
Who said that?
They do not have.
No one answered it yet. No one.
With they don't have eyeballs like humans and other animals. They have eye tubes.
Okay.
Interesting.
Guess that's why they're heads.
Yeah, you have a couple.
Yeah, a couple things. Thanks. Last Friday and Saturday was the Lions track meet at Somers High School,
Oh,
the second largest track meet in the state, but inching in on the first. 61 schools participated,
Wow.
and if you were there, it was absolutely tremendous. It was just a slice of Americana between the athletes, the students, the schools, the participants, the coaches, the referees. It was a magnificent day until it rained, but it was a stellar day. So thanks for all those who contributed and participated. Patty, you took a couple things, so congratulations to my fellow Catholics in Somers for our new Pope Leo the 14th. And last but absolutely not least, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in Somers.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day. Yes. Rich, anything?
Well, under the category of always think positive, you talk about the Knicks, one that I remember where I was that day, and my Willis Reed signed jersey is in the basement. And who would have figured the Knicks would it's not over, but take two from the Celtics already. All my Celtic friends in town who were rubbing it in. We're looking pretty good.
How
But
have the Knicks done
they,
against,
yeah, not so good.
the Celtics?
Not so
far?
good. But think positive and good things can happen. Never give up. That's the motto of the day.
Anthony?
Very busy month. May 20th is the school board election, so everybody
Yes.
get out to vote. It's at the middle school. And and it will be all day. And happy Mother's Day. It's a month of my anniversary, so
Happy anniversary
very good.
to Carol.
Happy anniversary, Carol, right?
And you.
And just about that long jump, that track meet, oh my God. Carol and I did the long jump.
Yeah.
There's 360 runs on the long jump.
Yeah.
And every one of them have to be raked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was real work.
Mm-hmm.
That was real work.
Rough row to hoe, huh?
Yeah, they run down, jump, and you gotta
There you
Gotta
go.
rake it.
then you gotta measure it, and it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
And
It was well
all-
attended.
Do all of it?
We did it for 5 hours,
For you.
and then somebody else picked it up.
Yeah.
It was good.
Great event.
All right.
All right. I have nothing to report here. I spoke enough. I'll make the motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.